Children are not a monotony, they're a symbol of our creation. The skills we develop as we grow and are nurtured into are the skills that we will eventually use to guide us through our own parenting and life, and they are a reflection of our life. Months went by and my pregnancy went well, and I decided to get away from Adelaide and head to Darwin to face my dad. And I remember months had passed and I was already showing. The moment my dad picked me up from the airport, the moment he stepped off the plane, even on visits when we were younger, I saw that beautiful smile that, at the exit lounge area, the hug from Dad would reward you more than life. I remember when I arrived off that plane, I walked towards him with my pregnant belly showing. He never even kissed me when I got off the plane as he usually would. His hugs proved his words with action, this time cold and distant. The look of disgust he gave me terrorized me for life. I felt more than belittled. I felt unwanted. And if I could have turned around and flew straight back into the arms of my mum, I wouldn't have hesitated. He didn't have anything to say to me, and just a look spelled 1,000 words. We collected the luggage and got into the car, and it was the hardest and most silent ride. The ride that I thought would be going to his home, where he'd be taking me. But no, he detoured and took me to my auntie's house as I was banished from the home, the family home. I was an embarrassment, I was pregnant, and I was unmarried. I stayed with my auntie and my uncle right up until the birth of my son, and they at least accepted me for the situation that I had ended up in. My auntie was excited, and when she spent most of her days with me while I was pregnant, my auntie would sit with me and she would eat Tim Tams and drink Coke on most of her days, watching Days of Our Lives with me. And back in those days, the home phone called, and my ex wanted to come to visit me in Darwin. My dad had caught wind that my ex was in Darwin, and that we had now reunited, and he was in Darwin, and frantically called a family meeting and demanded that we marry in Muslim ceremony at a small gathering at his house. I pleaded and begged with my partner to follow my dad's rulings so that we could have his blessing at the birth. We married in Muslim, and it was to be the beginning of the end. It didn't change us. We were always broken from the moment he left me until he returned. What did change was to unfold over the next few weeks. My baby was due in May, and it's April 1992, and I wake up to a random morning to an empty bed with the man that usually lays beside me. I was 8 months pregnant, and he decided to get up, grab a bag, and walk away from me and the baby for the rest of his life.